Hello there, folks. I am Rebecca Adams. You're watching Free to Soar, and I have two people with me tonight, not just one. So we have our regular, which is Becky Vermeer.
Yeah.
We have Leah Denham with us tonight.
So let's do a shameless crisis center plug. You like that?
A what?
I want you to do a shameless crisis center plug. So as the volunteer coordinator, what's the biggest need that the crisis center has right now?
Um, as a volunteer coordinator, I would have to say we need beds. That's a big thing. Is that what you mean? Like things that we need?
Things that we need. Do we need volunteers? Like things
We need a lot of volunteers. I need carpet removed. I'm trying, I'm a girl, but don't tell me that. I can do anything anybody else can. So I'm very prideful with that. But we need help moving a bunch of stuff like that needs to go to the dump. We need concrete. I need help moving things so I can get the other two storage buildings going so I have something to put stuff in, like my tools, so I know what I got. Organization, we need a lot of organization there because we do get a lot and there's only a few of us. So yeah, volunteers are very well needed there. And I try a lot to get volunteers there. They're my favorite people. We love you, volunteers. So we need a lot of help there, We can only do so much, but if I can get a bunch of people, we can do a lot more.
And that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you about that, because you and I work at the Crisis Center of Taney County, but we have viewers from all over. And so if you can't volunteer at the Crisis Center of Taney County, then the goal would be find a shelter in your area. Because I hear you saying, the needs are vast and the workers are few.
Yep.
And so somebody who would be willing to give 4 hours a week, what a huge difference that would make to us, wouldn't it? If just one person did that. But then if 10 people did that, there's a whole work week. And so I would encourage all of our viewers, if you can't volunteer for us, find a shelter in your area. And if you've got time and talent, it doesn't have to, time, talent, and money. Those are the three things every nonprofit needs. And so if you don't have one, use the other. And, benefit programs that are trying to do the work that we're doing.
Yes. I know a lot of people with the struggle right now with money, and I understand that. But if you just come in, like we had some volunteers just clean a cabin, like that took so much pressure off of us, so we're able to do other things. So volunteering is something that it's a blessing on your part, but it's also helping somebody else in need. And I think we need to do that more than often, and help donate. If you can't be there, donate to have something to be done there too,
Tell us about your bowling trip.
My bowling trip? It was fun. I'm a big kid now, y'all. So I had met a gentleman who is a volunteer who didn't even want my boss to know his name, because that wasn't the point. He gave me enough money to take all the children, and we went to a cool bowling alley. But we took all the kids and all the adults bowling. I was able to give some of the residents money to drive their own cars. I drove the big scary van, the mom van. It's big. It's like driving a bus. But I was able to take them bowling, and the kids still talk about it today. We had such a blast. I had enough money to get them drinks there, and we each got to pay 2-3 games. The bowling alley let us stay longer, like an extra 2 hours longer. We got home super late, which was awesome. And then afterwards, I was able to take all the kids out to Brahms, and it wasn't that a lot of money. I was just able to manage the money to take these kids out, on a field trip. And I mean, you should have seen their faces. They just lit up. It was amazing. It's rewarding to me to see kids that have been struggling be able just to let go and be kids. they argue with me. I won, but I did gutter ball a lot.
I don't think
Yes,
you
I tell the
won.
kids about it. I lost, okay? But they're real competitive, you know? But I've been able to get with the kids a lot and the parents, and just to give the parents ease, you know, like
Mhm.
it's stressful going through what you're going through. It's stressful to have to move from everything, you know, into a little place, and then you have no money. So, you know, it was really awesome of that person. And I still text them and just say, you know what? You put smiles on a bunch of people's faces, and you just, the little bit that you gave me, I was able to do it for not too much, you know? So that was awesome. It was fun. I love seeing those kids do that.
That's a
So,
that's a really good idea for somebody in their area, just to do something simple like that, because that person didn't have to do anything except give you money.
mm-hmm.
Did they earmark it for something fun? Is that how they? Okay.
And it has to be,
Yeah.
if they say, here's some money for you, but this is what I want you to use it for, and
Mhm.
be a good steward of the money, that's what you use it for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was
And so
speaking to the kids and like, oh, I want to do something. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can con Becky out of this money. Well, I was talking to a volunteer. I said, I'm going to ask my boss. So I don't know what she's going to say, but I just need a few couple $100 and I could go far. Like I can do this. You know what I mean? I'll call the place and I'll be like, look, I need to come in and I don't have very much money, but this is what I want done. Please, you know, if you say please, sometimes they're cool with us, you know. But he's like, no, you know what? Why don't I just go ahead and do it for you for those kids? And I was like, really? It's like, that's the coolest thing ever. So it was super cool for that to happen. And it kind of put a little fire under me to start, you know, just reaching out more and asking people, you know. And a lot of people like are willing, if you call them, say, hey, this is what I need, you know. But if people can just say, hey, here's a couple $100, go do this with it, you know what I mean? We honestly do it. And I'd be more than happy to do it. We had a blast. It was really cool to see those kids.
Oh, I love it.
Really cool.
yeah, so that's one of the fun things we get to do too, is we get to celebrate. You know, I used to say, well, Rebecca, when you were in shelter, I used to say, I'm always looking for a reason to celebrate. And so,
Mhm.
what do we need to buy a cake for this week, you know, or whatever that happens to be? And so, on a much smaller scale, but that's why your role is so important, because you're not afraid to say, hey, I need some help with this thing. And
Mhm.
so, like you said, you explain what it's for, you're polite about it, you say please, you say thank you, and people say, sure, let's make this happen. And what an amazing gift that is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, just, and I mean, I asked them, I have it for my personal because it was a fun night, you know. You know, just to see those kids interact, because I've known a lot of them have been through so much.
Mhm.
But you don't realize what a smile on one night can do to a kid from everything that they've been put through, you know?
Yes.
So super cool. Everybody know that it's super cool. Open your doors, give out free meals to these kids just one night. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. You get it back anyways. And that's what I tell people. You
Yeah.
get it back on your taxes anyways, you know?
Yeah.
So just give the kids one good night, or give these ladies one good meal so that, you know, they feel worth it, you know? And that's been a big thing for me, is I just, it's not about just staying there. It's about feeling loved and worth it, you know?
Mhm.
Because I never got that. So I like to give that to others. It's
Mhm.
cool. And I really appreciate everybody. If you're on this, thank you for allowing me to do that. And don't worry, I'll be calling more. I have a couple more up my sleeve. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a big kid, so I enjoy it.
That's so
Definitely
fun.
enjoy it.
That had to have boosted the kids to where they would feel like, okay, I am worth it, that somebody is willing to donate this money. They maybe that didn't understand that, but that somebody took me to this fun place and we had a blast. So I am worth something.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
Yeah. And it's good for the moms. They get to see their kids having fun. Like, it's just,
Mhm.
it benefits everybody in a situation like that. So
Mhm.
I would venture to guess, I wasn't there that night, but I would venture to guess everybody kind of let their hair down and just had a good time. Like, and when you're in a crisis situation, to let your hair down and have a good time is few and far between. So what a benefit.
Yeah, it was amazing, and the kids picked on me because I gutter balled the first two games. So it's really cool because, they're coming like, you put that in the gutter. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, So about it. So I striked everyone. One of the residents. I was like, "Are you on a bowling team? Is this what we do? We come here to embarrass me?" So I'm kind of a sore loser. So they just thought it was really cool. That I would just come out there. So I went on the kids' teams. Can't tell me nothing. Take that I lost it for them. So yeah.
That's right.
Just a smile. It's
Yeah.
little things that matter in those points, in those
Yeah.
crisis times. It's the little things that matter.
Yeah.
One night out here and there, it matters more than $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, donate to your people.
That's right. Leah says she's a little competitive or whatever, but she's not brave enough, Rebecca. She's not brave enough to face me on a ping pong table. I don't know what that is, but
Ooh. Come
She
on
wanted
now.
to take a Rebecca, don't listen to her. She had to take a whole week off. It's been scorching hot. She decided, and she says no work stuff. You know how hard it was for me a whole week. We have a ping pong table. I did move it down to the bottom of the thing, and I told her it's war. She hasn't taken me out. So I think she's extremely scared of me to play ping pong because she knows I'm a professional, you know? So you know what that means, Becky? 80 degrees.
it's gonna happen. It's
It
on.
is.
It's gonna happen.
It is on lunch break tomorrow.
I want a video of that, please.
Gotcha.
You don't want to see Leah cry, do you? That's gonna make Leah cry.
It probably would if I lost. I'm not gonna lie. She cheated. Rebecca, she's a cheater. That's what we're gonna tell her.
No, I'm definitely not a cheater. Mm-mm.
On ping pong?
Nothing.
She's competitive,
No.
but she's not a cheater.
That's right.
I know
If
she's not a cheater.
I lose
I'm just a
honestly. If I
loser.
win, I win honestly. I'm not a cheater.
I know if you win, honestly, but I'm a sore loser, so
The thing is I've never really lost before, so I don't know. I don't really know what that's like. But
Oh my. I
yes,
think
Rebecca, do you see?
I think it's getting a little deep over there at your house.
we we battle everything. It's going down, Rebecca. I'll get it on video for you.
Please
If
do.
anybody wants to watch it,
Yeah, do it.
I'm in for that.
Do it.
Place bets
Yeah.
for the crisis center. Becky, we can make this something.
Yeah, and send it to me on Messenger, and I can get
I
it on the
will.
YouTube channel because I do all that.
Oh, you do? I
Mhm.
have to add you, Rebecca.
You got it.
Yes. I win, Becky. I want an ice cream, pumpkin spice.
if you win, I will get you an ice cream.
Whoa.
If you win, what would you like?
Respect.
Oh, you already got that for me. Maybe about the ping pong. Like, I lost to Becky. I'll wear that.
There you go. There you go. I want you to wear a shirt that says Becky beat me. No,
Yes.
I lost to
Becky's
Becky.
number
Sounds way
one.
better. I lost to Becky sounds way better.
Or Becky's number one.
Something
I
like
lost
that.
to Becky.
Maybe a shirt with my picture on it. Something. Yeah.
Becky's number one. I do it. I wear the Becky shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, if that's the case, then I want a picture of you wearing the shirt. Does that feel
That's if she
fair?
wins. I'll make her one for me too. I think that's fair. I think I like that idea.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right.
I
You
think
have my
that-
picture shirt?
I mean, it's doubtful, but I guess if I lose, I will, but it's doubtful.
Oh, that'd be awesome, Becky. I'm so playing you tomorrow. By the end of this tournament, we're both going to have the shirt on. Yes.
Oh boy.
I love my boss, Rebecca.
And so, Becky, you would need to wear a shirt that says this lady beat me in ping pong and have her picture on it.
Like
Mhm.
this.
Think- Yeah. If I lose, I'll wear that shirt, but I wouldn't make the shirt if I were you.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get a really good picture of both of us. Because I feel we were gonna play more than once. I wouldn't be able to handle it. And I don't think you would be able to handle it. So it's gonna be an ongoing thing until snow.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Yes.
I have some pictures I could send you of Becky.
Nuh-uh.
Rebecca,
Because I
I
know
would
what your
love them.
pictures are going to look like. Your pictures are going to be these weird freeze frames from the videos that we do where I'm like, something like that, like I'm frozen.
I want it, Rebecca. I need those pictures.
Need those?
I
Okay.
would get a shirt with them on there just to wear. I'm okay with that. Yes.
I'd rather let my sister send pictures than those.
Oh,
I would let your
really
sister
now?
send.
Okay. Okay.
I got you, Rebecca.
Okay.
I will wear Becky shirts for you and send pictures like with Becky right there. I would so do it. My favorite boss.
Or I beat her in tennis or in ping pong.
Ping pong, yes.
Yeah.
It's going down, Becky. We
I'm
might be
ready.
able to get a lot of views on this. That would be awesome.
I'm
Oh,
seeing
boy,
a lot of
that's
YouTube
funny.
shorts out of this video tonight.
Yes.
Well, back to the video. I saw you writing down some, were they questions or were they just comments you wanted to say, or?
Some things were just because I'm going through my own, just I'm still processing through all of my stuff. I've been free for 20 years now, and I'm still, having to go through things because I've been, well, anyway, I won't go there, but anyway, I love the part where you said you lost respect for yourself. It's the way you worded it. And I think, wow, okay, that's something I need to process. When did I lose respect for myself? And I still, give me feedback on that, both of you. Like, so the drugs numb you, but I also kind of read between the lines of what you said that you maybe started the drugs to damage yourself, maybe like to punish yourself or because you didn't feel like you had any self-respect. How far off am I on that?
You're not far. I mean, I guess when you just don't love yourself, it's just easier to hurt yourself. I mean, you don't, as far as you don't want to, I've never been a suicidal person. But if I went, I went, so it could have been that had a lot of my underlying, like, if I left, my kids wouldn't have to go through my cycles. If I left, I wouldn't have to worry my mom so much. So, I do think under it, I tried to hurt myself and just get over with,
Mm-hmm.
because depression, is a real thing. And,
Yeah.
I hit it pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not far off.
Okay. That makes sense. And then you talked about how do I word this? So you talked about like all the people that you began to see the damage, like your parents were helping with the kids and this kind of stuff. And there is a real ripple effect with abuse. And then you talked about it also when you were talking about basically almost I don't know if I want to say making amends with, but patching things back up again with your family and getting that back on track. And then you really begin to see the ripple effect of what you've lived through, what you chose to do, and all of that combined together, and how that affects the people around you. Can you speak a little bit to that? Like,
Yeah, so when you set yourself in abuse, your kids kind of take your traits on.
Mhm.
My daughter, I don't think she'll get mad. She dated a guy that struggled with drug abuse like I did. He did lose his life over it.
Wow.
And then, you know, I don't know, she just kind of went into it, you see what you have your kids around, they're gonna go around. I mean, it's a ripple effect.
Mm.
Um, yeah, my son goes through a lot as far as, he's a loner. They take on your characters throughout those times. So I've seen it, and the only way I honestly know to get it back is I had to get myself back in order to help anybody around me.
Mhm.
So is that what you meant?
Yeah, yeah. And just like, have you seen other people that your life choices affected that you were surprised at, maybe friends, acquaintances, something like that, that you realized after the fact, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that that was going to affect them too, as well as my family.
Yeah. When you start hanging out with people, misery loves company. And so I was highly depressed. And so you get around people and you don't realize it. And, when you're depressed, I don't know, you get people to scare people, you know what I mean? And like, uh, yeah, they start using too because you use, or they, think it's okay. You get those younger girls like, oh, if a dude hits you, just hit him back. You know what I mean? Like you make them numb to it. So it's rippled onto a lot of people, a lot of people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everybody around you, it's affected. It really is. Everybody around you, anybody around you gets infected a little bit. Just to hear somebody's story that affects the way, even if they feel bad for you, that still affects the way they think of you.
Mhm.
Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean.
So then, excuse me, how does that affect you seeing, um, the difficulty maybe that like your family or your friends have struggled with you coming back and you're a different person? So you see the damage that what you've done has done in them. And I may not be wording that quite right, but
Uh,
that'd been hard to deal with.
yeah, yeah. And little things that my kids have done is I've talked to Becky a lot because I still go talk to her. Sometimes got to close the door a couple times because it's kind of still hard. Even 2.5 years into being clean, it's still kind of hard, and sometimes it's kind of hard to swallow like what my daughter's been through. Like I wasn't there for her. I didn't allow my parents to be there for her. Um, and things that my older daughter has done, I used to do, and like how I used to act towards my parents when I was going through what I went through. And when I'd call my mom and just tell her I'm sorry, because uh, it's almost breathtaking to realize what you put people through when you're hurt people.
Mhm.
And I hurt people. So
Mhm.
it was hard. I still struggle with that today. Big time.
Sure.
Because you
I,
start
I,
realizing everything you've done.
yeah, it's very humbling, isn't it, when you realize, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was going to affect them like that, and I shouldn't have, if I had only done it this way instead. And I know one thing that I really learned was regret is like an emotional coffin, and you can
Yeah.
live there if you want, but I fought my way out of that coffin, and I said, I am not going to live my life in regret. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, this happened. Should it have? No. But did it? Yes. And so I'm going to go from where I am right now, and I'm going to get better over this. I'm not going to go for that regret. I'm not going to let myself live there, because that's a
Yeah.
horrible place to live. Horrible. I mean, it feels hopeless to live in regret, because you can't
Yeah.
go back in the past and change it. So how are you going to fix it? What you're regretful for? Yeah.
You know, the other thing that's hard about that too, and I hear you saying it, Leah, you're not using these words, but this is what you're saying, I think. So you go to these people and you say, okay, I'm different. I've changed. I'm on this path. It's a good path. I'm making good choices. I'm a completely different person. Just because you say that doesn't mean they believe you.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean they trust you. And so
Yeah.
you have to go through that entire process all over again of they have to learn how to trust you. So then the pressure is on you. Yeah, I have to be a person of my word. I have to follow through in this and I have to do this, because if I don't, they're going to say, well, it's just like the old Leah again. And so you
Yep.
can't use that as a barometer to judge yourself. But on the other hand, just because you say you're trustworthy, they don't necessarily, it doesn't mean anything to them. Like you have to prove all of that.
Mhm.
And that's like a
Yeah.
daily battle. I mean, that's exhausting.
It has been. It really has been. Yeah. It's nobody believed me, you know, they're like, okay, well you're gonna be okay. You're trying to change yourself for a whole month. You know, you're good, you know, we'll see it, you know, it'll happen again. So it's taken, a lot of time for people to trust me. And like I said, my youngest, it's almost taken 2 years. And I mean, we're starting to get a really cool bond now, you know, but it's not an overnight thing, you know, and it's a struggle, and the guilt. And I think whenever I tried to change throughout the past, I think my guilt ate me more, and I couldn't handle it. Like that was probably one of the hardest things to handle, was my guilt. Like, oh, I was this crappy person. Oh, I let this dude put his hands on me in front of my kids. And how could I let, as a mother, do that? And they're better off over here. So guilt's
Mhm.
Rebecca, guilt's been one of my biggest things that I couldn't handle for a long time.
Yeah.
And you got to leave it in the past, but that's a hard place, and that's a hard thing to do. It's easier said than done. That one is. I still sometimes slip off into guilt, you know.
Mhm. What has been the best thing that has helped you conquer that guilt?
Uh,
Because that's a strong one. Guilt is strong.
that I can't change the past. There's nothing I can do that can change what has happened, and I have to remind myself a lot. And but I've had a lot of God. I mean, I know, I don't know if I can say that on here, but you know, um that has honestly have helped me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the guilt still kind of eats me sometimes, you know. So I'm still struggling with that a little bit.
Yeah,
But what
And
just helped me that I can't change my past.
you can't. You can't go back and redo it.
but you know
I'm
what
just
you're
trying to be a
willing to
better
do,
person.
that I think is incredibly powerful. You can't change your past, but you're willing to own it. Like when you have
Yeah.
conversations with your kids, you own it. Hey, you're right. I'm not gonna dispute. You say that I did that, I did that. And I think that really does speak volumes. And so the fact that you own it to your kids, that's when they start to trust you. You're not saying I didn't do it. You're not trying to sugarcoat it. You're not trying to say you remember that inaccurately or whatever else it is. Yes, that's what happened.
Mhm.
And I think when you're trying to reconcile a relationship with someone, when you own your stuff, that does carry a lot of weight. And I've heard you say it. Like I've heard you own your stuff. So
I do own it. And
mm,
I think that's the only way to heal, because you can't lie to yourself, or, you
no,
know, you try to lie to everybody else. So you're just like, look, I was a craphead, and I wasn't the greatest person. I wasn't a good mom. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that's not who I am today. And I'm going to make myself a different person today. So yeah, I think that was probably a humbling part in my life, is owning what I did wrong. And that was a hard thing to do too.
It
You
is
know,
hard.
you don't start off thinking you're going to be that person. You don't start off thinking that just one person putting their hands on you is going to make you do this whole whirl spin in life from what you thought you were going to be. You never realize how people can really honestly destroy your whole life
Mhm.
because they're, it's crazy.
It is.
It's shocking. And I can honestly say, a lot of drug addictions, a lot of alcoholics has a lot to do with how somebody else put that person and made that person feel to where that person can't cope.
Mhm.
So that's, yeah.
You've got an incredible story for people to listen to. And you have, I promise you, in the last year and a half that you've been there at the crisis center, you are making an impact on people's lives without a doubt. Even if
Thank
they
you.
hear a corner of your story, they're going to ruminate on that. So you be encouraged with that. And
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still like I said, I'm 20 years out, and but I'm going through counseling again, and we're getting deep. We're going super deep this time with a different counselor, and there's just so much there to plow through.
Yeah. Just when you think you're getting an inch better, and I don't know, 20 years, but just when you think you get an inch better, you just have a really bad nightmare about something.
Mhm.
Because I think when that goes on, you kind of just tuck everything down. So it comes up when your body feels like you can handle it. So, like, I've had some bad nights and things come up, and I'm just like, crap, I thought I got over this. So it's been a struggle. It really has, but thank you. It means a lot because I think it helps me to help others.
Mhm.
It really does. So
Absolutely.
I didn't go through all this for nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And use your story to help encourage people, that, hey, if I can do this, you can do this. I've got
I
your
do.
back. Yeah.
Thank you. If I could do this, anybody on this world could do this. I
Yeah.
didn't even think I'd see the age of 40 the
Yeah.
way I was, so that's a blessing in disguise too.
Yeah.
Nobody thought I'd see 40.
Wow.
Nobody. So
Wow.
yeah, I did. I don't like you when you tell me I can't do something. So I think that I'm starting to figure it out. That's what Becky's like, I can't do this. And I'm like, what? Let me show her I could do this. And
Oh man, you figured that out?
Yes, I don't like to be doubted like I can't do something.
I love it.
Yes. It's bad, Rebecca. I promise you, I'm just a big kid now. And I love it.
Well,
At
I
least we
forgot.
got today,
What's that?
I said at least we got another day to figure it out. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It takes forever.
It does. It does. And I've talked to Becky about it. I don't think this recovery process is ever going to be over for me, because I've survived 48 years of abuse. So that's a lot to get over, and
Yeah.
a lot to work through.
You got this and you're worth it.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful lady too. You have the
Thank
prettiest smile. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. I appreciate
I like to meet you in person. We can hang.
Yeah,
Together.
exactly. Well, I was going to be there in October, and now we're looking at next spring because the speaking engagement has been changed. The gal who's putting it together is going to have surgery, so she doesn't know what her recovery time is going to look like or how long it'll be or anything. So it's been postponed until spring, so I can meet you in the spring of 2024.
I'm super excited. I will be there.
All right. I'm super excited.
Not going nowhere.
I'm super excited to meet you.
I'm super excited to meet you too. We're gonna have to talk about these shirts though, Rebecca.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Becky's favorite color is blue.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind,
Well, it's I'm gonna get it the color of her Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be
Get that
good.
Definitely.
funny. Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I want to see these shirts. What's your favorite color, Leah?
Well, right now it's black because that's slimming.
I hear you.
I like red. I really love red.
Okay.
I do. And then purple is becoming a great color because I found out what it meant. So
Mhm.
I like purple,
Mhm.
but red's my ultimate favorite color. I don't know what it is. Probably my mother,
I
but
say it's your mom's favorite color, so you probably learned that from her.
yes, I think it went subconsciously in my head that will be my favorite color,
Well, you are now free to pick your own favorite color.
I like black.
Okay. I have a grandson whose favorite color is black. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it's slimming and it matches everything.
There you go. There you go.
That's very true.
I love it.
See, put my black and red together.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You'll look like a checkerboard.
Yes, that is my whole motto. That's what I'm gonna make it. Black and red. Got it. Told my boyfriend, I was like, can we decorate our household in black and red? He's like, I don't care. Like, okay, bad mistake. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we better go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a hand signal. Has Becky taught you, your staff, about the hand signal?
Oh,
Becky,
Becky.
Becky.
Shame on you,
Becky.
Becky.
You put me in this position, Becky.
Shame on me.
Goodness. Okay. All right. So do you want me to teach Leah and the viewers, or do you want to take this responsibility, Becky?
Whatever you think is best.
I'll go ahead and do it. So
Okay.
you learn. Okay, Beck. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I need to learn it since I haven't taught Leah.
Yes,
I'm
Becky needs to
wondering.
learn it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's the case. Okay, so if you see this is the international hand signal for help, and it could be maybe they're being trafficked, they've been kidnapped, they're being abused, whatever it is. So if you see somebody do this, they're going to take their thumb captive, and the four fingers are going to be like the abuser, okay, or like the four walls around them. And so if you see somebody doing this, and they're doing it over and over, they're saying, help me, get help. So teach that to your kids and grandkids. And that's one thing we're wanting to do on this channel, is to educate people. So I take and I clip out that part and I post it on YouTube, and I'll do it with every single episode, because we want people to know what that international hand signal is. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's very needed
Yeah,
with
definitely.
everything going on nowadays.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have had that back in the day, because some days I was really scared, and I think, just to have somebody help out,
Yeah, because you can flash this out of a car window, or
Yep.
you go up to pay for something, and you could do that real, right down.
Right down there in the low. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's all sorts of ways you can do that. Yeah. So I'll let you teach the staff tomorrow, Leah.
Gotcha.
Come on now.
They
Come on
forgot
now.
about us.
Come on now. They should be watching our videos, and then they would have already learned it by now.
That is true.
Okay. Is that what you were relying on?
Yeah. You're so right.
You are too funny.
There's something that will definitely start learning and teaching people. I think that's pretty cool.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think I seen something like that on Facebook or Instagram. So, but I didn't know it was really a thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it really is. So we wanted to just literally catch fire and spread across the world, really, because it's an international signal. So you don't even have to speak the same language.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
don't need to speak the same language. Sometimes you can't speak at all because you'll get in trouble.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. Well, thank you guys for having me on there. I kind of choked up. I never really choke up. I usually have words on words, but I guess it's a little harder to talk about it more than I thought. But I really appreciate you guys having me on here, and I really do. And I enjoyed meeting you, Becca. I love you, Becky. But thank you guys so much for having me on here.
You've done a great job. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I know it's tough, but it's hard to be vulnerable, but I think that you've been vulnerable and somebody's going to benefit from hearing it.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
the way. That's the only thing that I want, is to be able to tell somebody. It might just touch one person. That's all. And make me feel like I went through something from order somebody else to get help. So
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Well, folks, we thank you for joining us. And Miss Becky, of course, we thank you for being here too. Don't want to
My
forget
pleasure.
you.
you're amazing.
Thank you.
She is, isn't she? I give her a hard time, but she is. She really is amazing.
Well, thank
Yes.
So, folks, remember that no matter where you are in this process, you're always free to soar.